Hello again, this is Too Quick for You. I'm going to talk a little bit about ISOs, GODs, and game files. And we're going to have a couple of discussions about this. Alright, this is for people who have downloaded the ISO off the internet, or copied it in their computer, whatever you want. But anyways, so right here I've got a Black Ops 2 ISO. When you go inside there, an ISO, this is this thing right here, is basically a package. It's an image of what's on the disk. Okay, now you can't break into it and look inside it. Well, again, this video is for noobs, so yes, there is ways to break into it and look inside it, but it's more advanced. We ain't getting that far. But anyways, as far as you're concerned, you can't break it open. It's a package. It's one unit. Now, what we can do with an ISO, and ISOs, by the way, you usually burn a game with an ISO. By the way, the ISO DVD file above that is the directions for when the split vid is when you burn the game. But for what you guys are doing, you don't need to know that. The reason you'd want an ISO is so you could take out, or extract out, or convert. We got things here. We got game files, and we have GOD, game on demand. Now, an ISO looks like this. It's a package. Now, when you extract the files out of it, you get something like this. This is the actual game in pieces. Okay. Now, a GOD is another form of package that is used by the Xbox native operating system. It's still a package. It's still one unit. Okay. Now, before we go any further, we're going to talk about why and what you would do with these. Okay, first of all, if you plan on modding the game at all, you're going to need game files, because that's where you put your patches in, which look like this. Here's a default MP, and here's some patches. There's a patch right there. You would put them in there. But we're not talking about modding games today, so we're talking about other things. Now, that's why you'd want game files. Another reason you want game files is if you only had a 20 gig hard drive on HDD1 and you wanted more room to put games, you could put game files on a USB, and then the XX menu would see those. The reason you'd want a GOD, if you don't plan on modding the game, make a GOD, because GODs run. It's part of the native operating system. They run better, in my opinion, and they're like one chunk. It's a nice little package. You know, nothing major. You're not messing with a bunch of pieces. Now before I even go, I gotta talk about something else too. The NEX dash. The NEX dash is basically what noobs call the normal dash, or the retail dash, or whatever. It's called the NEX dash, NXE dash. I'm sorry. And if you're running a 20 gig hard drive on HDD1, you can't put a lot of games on there because you're going to fill it right up. About 2 games is what you're going to get on there. So let's talk about the dashes and what they look at. Now, the NEX dash will only see GODs. The only way to make the NEX dash see game files is to make shortcuts. Okay. Now, XX menu only sees game files. So an XX menu will pop up and see game files. On the NEX dash, it only sees GODs. Now, there are other ways of doing this. These videos are for noobs. It's for the basics. So I don't want to hear any comments about, oh, that's wrong, oh, blah, blah, blah. This is for noobs, okay? Simple stuff for them, okay? So let's recap. NEX dash only sees GODs. XX menu only sees game files. Now, Freestyle dash will see both, and they can be anywhere. They don't have to be in your own spots. Like, for example, the NEX dash only sees GODs when they're in the normal spot, which is in the all zeros folder and inside the content folder. Just like XX menu only sees game files when it's in a games folder. So when you launch XX menu, it scans all the drives and looks for a folder called games, and then it looks inside there and keeps breaking things down until it finds default, XEXs. So, quick recap: NEX dash only sees GODs. XX menu only sees game files when they're in a games file folder, and Freestyle dash sees them all, and you can put them anywhere you want. It doesn't matter. So if you only got a 20 gig hard drive on for HDD1, and you want to put GODs, you want to put game files on an external drive, you're going to need to run Freestyle Dash for any GODs to show up. where XH manual will see them anyways. So you kind of, the whole RGH console, JTAG console is kind of, it's gotten so you can customize it to anything you want now. You can make things be where you want and do what they want, and there's no set path for things anymore. You can adjust things where you want. And you just got to learn more about how that works, and you can do what you want to do with it. So let's talk about how to get these now. So I'm going to first talk about a tool called ISO to God. ISO to God, you launch it. Now it says add ISO. So I'm going to add an ISO. I'm going to click that. I'm going to browse to my ISO, which I know is on the desktop. And it's called Black Ops 2. And there's the ISO. I'm going to click on it. Now I've got to browse to where I want to put the game files, or excuse me, the GOD at. So I'm going to browse. I'm going to find my Black Ops GOD folder. Hit OK. Now, here's what you don't want to do. See where it says right here, save, rebuild ISO? So basically what it's doing, it's going to bust apart the ISO, put a temporary folder someplace, and then rebuild that from there and give you your GOD. So in the end, you're going to have 3 copies of this of the game. You're going to have an ISO, you're going to have a temporary folder, and you're going to have the actual GOD. You don't want that checked. You don't want to keep that. Just uncheck that. Now we want to browse for where the temporary one's going to be. And I just put desktop, because now after it builds it, it's going to make the temporary folder on the desktop, then it's going to delete it on its own. So you ain't going to end up with all the crap every place. So we're going to add ISO. Yes. Okay, so there it is. Now I can hit convert right now, and it'll start making me a GOD. But here's the cool thing about this tool: you can just add another ISO, and keep on going. You can make this thing. You can load up 10, 20 ISOs, and then go to bed. And then when you get in the morning, they're all done for you. You don't have to do one at a time. You can do multiples at the same time. So that's how you would get a GOD. And when it popped out, it would look like this. You get this. Okay, now we discussed that tool, and by the way, this tool can also FTP them right to your Xbox for you too. It's in the settings. You can actually tell it to, after it's already made the GOD, to automatically upload it to your console, and it'll put it where it goes for you. It's pretty cool. You just got to adjust it in there. So now we're going to talk about another tool that's called Xbox Image Browser. Go ahead and launch that. Now this thing, you first got to go File. So this is Open Image File. We're going to go open up the Black Ops ISO. And there it is. And then when you get here, you got to right click on where it says ISO, whatever it's called. You right click on that and hit Extract. And then navigate to, I'm sorry, you have to make a new folder on your desktop too and call it Black Ops. And you'll navigate to that folder and hit OK. But if I hit OK, it's going to start extracting it. I've already did it, but I don't want to make another one. So I'm not going to hit OK. Now the bad thing, there's goods and bad things about this tool. I like it because if you're only going to do one game files, boom, no problem. And it's pretty quick about doing it. The only thing is you can't load up and do multiple ones at the same time. You can only do one at a time. So you can't just load them all up and go to bed and get it in the morning and be done. You got to actually start do one at a time. So you got this other tool here called ISO Extract. I'm going to try to hurry here because the time's going to run out for my thing. So you launch this tool, choose your ISOs, and you actually put all your ISOs in a folder. Choose that folder; it'll all pop up, and you can tell it to sit there and do multiple game file extractions. You can put 10, 20 in there, go to bed, and you get up, they're done, and then you can move into your console. So there's the tools we're talking about: ISO Extract, Xbox Image Browser, and ISO to God. It's kind of a rundown of what GODs are and ISOs are. My time's going to run out any time here. I guess that's it. Have a good one.